Okay, I don't know if you're on yet, but if you are, welcome. We've got about 5 minutes before we get started, so I just wanted to remind you to get your pen and paper ready. We're going to be taking a lot of notes tonight. We've got a lot of great content that we're going to be discussing, and of course, the title of this webinar, this presentation, is how to turn back the time, tighten your tummy, and erase the evidence of having given birth. I know we all you love your kids, but sometimes they take a toll on your body, and so we're going to be really going over some specifics tonight that you can implement right away to start to have a flatter stomach, to feel better, have more energy, and just overall have more confidence and self-esteem too. And so we'll be getting into that. We've got, like I said, about 5 minutes left, 4 minutes before we get started. So grab some water. Close the door if you've got screaming kids around. Hopefully you've got someone watching them. And we're going to get started. So we'll just hang tight here for a few minutes. We've got a bunch of people coming on the line. Welcome, Sally and Jackie. Great to see you. If you have not yet got a pen and paper ready, be sure to grab that and maybe put your feet up, relax. It's gonna be a relaxing time. It's gonna be a fun time. Not gonna be too intense. So just be excited, getting ready for it. And if you have any friends that you want to call and let them know about it, there's still time for them to sign up and join. So quickly send out the message or two, give a phone call, and have them jump on this presentation as well. I'll be announcing this a little bit later, but I'm going to give you guys a heads up. Those of you who are on the call early, I'm going to have a little competition tonight. I love competitions, and I think it brings out the best in all of us. So one of the things we're going to be doing is the person who takes the most notes and emails them to me, and I'm going to give you my email address in a moment, they're going to receive a free copy of my book, Fit Moms for Life, How to Have Endless Energy to Outplay Your Kids. So you got to take a bunch of notes, and of course, you're taking the notes for your own benefits, not just to win the book, but we're doing that, and that'll really encourage you to take the most and get the most out of tonight. And let me just give you my email address. It's dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com. So DUSTINMAHER fitness@gmail.com. And again, I'll share that with you guys in a few minutes once we get started, but I just want to give you a heads up for that. And also I'm going to be asking you a few questions during the time. And if you want to at that point, email me your answers. That's great. I love feedback. Any way I can make this program, this presentation better in the future, I'm all ears. So definitely also send an email again to dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com. Looks like we got about a minute 15 left actually before we get started. So get ready and we'll start in a moment. Christy, great to see you from Florida. I'm glad to have you on the call tonight, the presentation, and we're going to be starting in less than 30 seconds now. So definitely get that pen and paper ready. Get the big mug of water. I've got my tea right here, some green tea that I will be drinking throughout the next hour or so, and trying to give you as much great information as possible. And remember, this is a relaxed atmosphere. I like to think of these presentations as just giving a talk to a family member or a best friend, and that's kind of my style. So don't have to worry about anything, but I hope that you're excited about the next 45 to 60 minutes, because we're going to be sharing a lot of stuff that if you implement is going to really transform your life. Okay, well, I've got right on the dot to start, so I don't like to start late, so let's get started. Welcome everyone to the presentation to this webinar called How to Turn Back Time, Tighten Your Tummy, and Erase the Evidence of Having Given Birth. I don't know, I like that title. I don't know if it gets you excited or not, but I really want to focus tonight on sharing tips with you, practical strategies that you can take and implement starting instantly that's going to give you great results. You're going to get a flatter stomach, you're going to have more energy, your friends are going to be doing double takes wondering what happened to you, they're going to see that your skin is clear, and just so many great things are going to happen just because of some of the action steps that you're going to take through this. And like I said, I mentioned it in the pre-party just a few minutes before, but if you're just jumping on, I'm going to have a contest for my book, Fit Moms for Life, How to Have Endless Energy to Outplay Your Kids. And so all you need to do is take the most notes. So start scribbling down notes on whatever I'm talking about that you think is valuable. And then you're going to be emailing me that to dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com. That's DUSTIN maherfitness@gmail.com. So let's get started. I've got a few questions I want to start off with here. So who is here doing endless amounts of exercise, but you feel like you're not losing any weight? Is that you? Or how about who is here eating the right stuff, but nothing seems to be changing? Do you feel like you're eating your fruits and vegetables and it's just nothing's changing? Your waist is as big as it used to be, your thighs are still rubbing together. Is that still an issue? And then how about this one? Who here knows that they could be doing more exercise and eating better? Anybody? Cool. Well, hopefully you answered yes to at least one or two of those questions. And if you did, you are in the right place and I'm in the right place. Now, how am I going to be? I'm kind of a relaxed, I get excited here or there, but I really want to make this kind of like a living room atmosphere. I want this to be like me sitting in your living room, just sharing with you information that I've learned over the past decade of helping thousands and thousands of moms just like yourself get in shape. So I may sound kind of relaxed sometimes. I might talk slow. Sometimes I might get a little excited. So just to let you know up front, that's how it's going to be going. Is that okay? Cool, I appreciate it. So who am I? I just want to share a little bit about my background, just so that you don't think I'm just some random dude on the internet telling stuff to moms, and then we're going to get into the content right from there. So schooling-wise, I went to Madison, Wisconsin for my college degree. I got a degree in kinesiology, exercise science. So I studied for 4.5 years on how the body moves, how to burn fat, what foods to eat, all that good stuff. So I really have spent a lot of time. During that time in school, I also got certified as a trainer through a national organization called ACE, American Council on Exercise. And one of my first jobs was at a gym in Madison, Wisconsin, which is where I'm from, so go Badgers. I don't know if there's anybody from Wisconsin listening tonight, but I started off as a trainer. I first started off cleaning machines, and I started answering questions, and from there I started teaching classes, and then I became a trainer. So that was kind of the progression for me. I don't know if you guys have hobbies. I have a bunch of hobbies, but a few of them that I really enjoy are Scrabble. I play competitive Scrabble. I know it's kind of a nerdy thing. And then I also play tournament ping pong. Those are a couple of my favorite ones. Also Frisbee golf. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before, but it's kind of like regular golf, but you throw Frisbees instead. Also, I'm a competitor. I do fitness modeling competitions, and I'll show you some pictures here in a moment. And I do that more just for the fun of it. It's just a good challenge for me. I get to meet some cool people. I'm also a speaker. I speak all over the country, sharing some of my best information on how moms can get in shape and transform their bodies, as well as I speak to a lot of trainers, really inspiring them to improve their skills as a personal trainer and really motivate and inspire them. And then, of course, I'm a trainer. I've been a trainer now for almost a decade, and it's just been an amazing experience for me. I don't know what else I would do, and it's the most rewarding job I've ever been part of. And then I also mentor a lot of other trainers, like I mentioned. So here's a couple of pictures. I had to throw this one in there. It's my embarrassing photo from when I was young. I lived in a trailer park growing up, and I think my mom wanted to save some money one year and just do the bowl cut. So you put the bowl on top of the head, trim around it. That used to be sort of cool. There's me in my fitness modeling competition a couple years back. And we have a lot of community groups started around the country. And so this one we called the Hot Dirty Mamas, and we did a mud run. So we had about 30 or 40 moms there that day. And yes, that is a pink tutu I'm wearing, so hopefully that does not kill my credibility showing you that picture. We had a lot of fun with that. Speaker, again, speaking around the country. And then here, this last picture is of about 30 women in my Fit Moms for Life program. They're in a small little town called Castleton, North Dakota. It's just west of Fargo. And they get together every week and do my DVD program and just really have created an amazing community. We've got communities like that started all over the country, so it's great to go and visit places like that. So today I want to show you a few things. I want to show you how to eliminate the negativity in your life, build a positive and supportive environment that's so crucial to not only getting the results, but then keeping the results. Eating, of course, that's important. So what to eat and when to eat for success. I've got a really cool story I'm going to share with you on this one. And then exercise and how to do it with the most efficiency. I see a lot of women exercising the wrong way. They think they're really, doing things that are going to get results, but a lot of times they're not getting results at all. And then last one here. I found a blueprint for success that I've seen that just guarantees it all over, doesn't matter if you're young or old, if you have 1 kid or 10 kids, it works for everyone. So I'd like to share that with you so that we can really unleash the true potential you have inside of you right now. Is that okay for me to share with you? Great. So before we get started, how do I know? How do I know all this stuff works? Am I just, did I just read some magazines? Did I just go and pick up Shape magazine or Self magazine and just, spew off some stats coming up here? Absolutely not. So like I mentioned, I've been a trainer for it's been about 9.5 years now, and I've worked personally with well over 5,000 moms. In Madison, Wisconsin, I have 11 fitness locations, and we have DVD programs and programs that we do all over the world. And I've helped influence well over 100,000 moms all over the world. But here's a group of women that are pretty awesome. In my book, I have 31 transformational stories, and these are some of the women who are in the book. And I really wish I could have this picture back when they were in their before selves. This group here, this isn't all 31, but they've lost a combined total, this group right here, of well over 800 or 900 pounds. So they definitely would not look like this if we took a before picture, but they're pretty amazing women who have really taken the blueprint, the system that you're going to be learning about in a moment and applied it to their lives. So does that sound good? Can you tell how that might help things? Well, great. Let's get into the content now. So I've got a 5-step system that I want to focus on tonight. So start taking notes. This is where the note-taking begins. The first part is going to be in the mindset. You got to get there in the right mindset, environment, the nutrition, the exercise, and the accountability. So just like a table that has legs, whether it has 4 legs or a 5-legged table, if you cut down one of those legs, the table's going to fall over and everything's going to spill. Just like trying to get in shape and be fit, be happy, be healthy. If one of these key areas are not in being used right or even being utilized at all, you're going to have trouble either maintaining or even getting the results in the first place. So all 5 of these areas have to be there. And I want to really give you some specific tips right now for each of these 5 areas. So you ready? Okay, let's go. Mindset. Mindset's my probably the biggest one to start with. I put it there at the beginning because it starts in the mind. You guys have all heard that before. But if you don't believe it, if you don't think that it's possible, if you don't think that you're worth it, it's going to be a very big uphill battle to get in shape and stay in shape. So I've got a few specific action steps and strategies that we need to do right now. So let's grab pen and paper and we're going to get started. So I call this first technique finding your big why. Why is it important for you to be in shape or whatever your goal is. I don't know exactly what your goal is, but for most women, it's losing weight, it's toning up, it's having more energy, it's being a good example for your kids, whatever it may be. But the big why, the small why might be I have a wedding I got to go to, I got to fit into a dress that's at least one size smaller than I am right now, or I've got a vacation in Maui that I need to look good for my husband or for my girlfriends. Those are fine goals to have, but they're not the big why. What's your big why? And in a moment here, I'm going to share with you a story of a woman's big why when she found that. But if you have kids, chances are it's going to revolve somewhere around those kids. And I'm just going to give you a moment here to write that down. Okay, write down your big why. I'm going to give you 30 seconds of silence here. As you're writing this down, I just want you to get really caught up in the moment of really feeling, getting the emotions of why it's important for you. Can you see how that would apply to you if it was your big why, not just that little why we talked about? Cool. That big why you should have somewhere where you write it down, maybe put it on your refrigerator, somewhere where you see it on a regular basis. Again, if it's a picture of your kids, maybe it's a big picture, and then you put right above that, this is why I want to exercise, or this is why I need to eat healthy, this is why I need to be a good example for them. Really keep that in the forefront of your mind. The next one I call the 10-year plan. I've presented this situation to thousands of people all over the country, and I've had many women break down and cry as we go over this. I'm going to give you the abbreviated version right now because of time, but I'd like you to have a little homework assignment later on and do this in a little bit longer time period. So what is the 10-year plan? So I want you to close your eyes for a moment, and I want you to picture yourself, imagine yourself 10 years from now, if you continued some of the negative, unhealthy behaviors that you are currently doing. Maybe you're smoking, or maybe you're going out to fast food a couple times a week, whatever that may be for you. And just think about what your life would look like if we extended out now, 10 years from now. So what would your body look like? What would your energy levels be? Maybe what would a vacation look like to you? What would your relationships look like? What would your relationship with your kids or your spouse look like? Just think about that for a moment with your eyes closed. Okay, I'm going to have you jot down just two key points that pop in your mind. 2 images, 2 words, 2 phrases. Okay, quick, write those down. Again, try to be in the moment of this, really feel it, get emotional. It should be a painful experience, thinking we all have our unhealthy habits that we have. But if we continued on those paths and maybe added a few extra negative habits along the way, what would it look like? Okay, cool. So now we're going to move on and we're going to do our 10-year plan. This one's a little more fun. So after tonight's presentation, you're going to learn some great things. We're going to say now you're implementing those. You're taking advantage. You're exercising the right way. You're eating the right way. You're surrounding yourself with the right people. You're feeling amazing. Your body's looking great. Your energy levels. People are really looking up to you and being encouraged and inspired and motivated by you. And I believe that all can happen within a 1-year period of time. You can basically get into the best shape of your life in 1 year. But let's extend that out 10 years, just like we did for the first part. So now what would your relationships look like? How amazing would they be? How inspired would your kids be about your life and about your body, about your fitness level? What would your vacations look like? What would your relationship with your spouse look like? Visualize that for a couple moments. All right, jot down a couple notes. Again, just a couple images, visions of what that would look like 10 years from now. This should be joyous. This should be very happy. Okay, now I want to compare and contrast these two. What have you learned from this little lesson? And again, we need to extend it out. You need to I would write down probably 10 or 20 different bullet points, really get in the moment, really get emotional with it. But why don't you just jot down one or two things that you've learned from this? And I'll share with you a couple things that I've heard a lot of women say when I do this with them. Cool. I hope you have a couple notes there with that. So a few things I've picked up on that I've heard a lot of women say is they don't want to look like or feel like or have the capabilities of their parents. So maybe their parents are in their 50s, their 60s, their 70s. They don't want to have the quality of life that their parents are having right now. And that scared the heck out of them looking 10 years, 20 years down the road. That was one thing. Some people are really afraid that when they get to be in their 50s or 60s or 70s, maybe when they have more time and maybe some more money, that they're not going to have the bodies to go on vacations and travel like they used to. Or maybe they're not going to have enough energy or capabilities to play with their grandkids or their great grandkids. Those are some of the more popular answers that I hear. But some of them even go deeper and more serious. Maybe they had a parent or a sibling die at 40 or 50 of heart disease, or they got diabetes and got sick, or just overall they're just very unhappy and depressed about their life. And they know people that are like that. So whatever your conclusions are, you need to really live them and own them and really feel that pain, because one of my mentors and coaches, Tony Robbins, he always says that unless you create enough current pain in your current state, you're not going to want to change. Because if you're just like, oh, it's okay, it's not great, it's not bad, you're not going to have enough leverage in your life to want to make changes. So you need to create so much pain in your current state, but then looking ahead and seeing how amazing it could be if you make some small changes. And small changes over time, create drastic results. Okay? Hopefully that helped you. Last one we've got here for mindset is positive. Oops, skipped one here. Is positive affirmations. And basically, a positive affirmation is just a statement declaring something that may not already be there, but declaring it in the present tense. So, I have a fit, healthy, and happy body. Something like that. And you can write those positive affirmations, and you should say them, throughout the day and believe them. And as you say them more and as you believe them more, your actions will align more with what you are declaring. So those are positive affirmations. Very great. I love doing them. They've worked with a lot of my clients. So I mentioned before that you need to find your big why. And I want to share with you a story. And I just want to kind of preface this by saying it is an emotional story. It is a sad story, but it does have a happy ending. And I really hope that by me sharing the story with you, that you're inspired by it. So this is a woman named Michelle. And Michelle, she came to my classes kind of around the time when she started my program in Madison, Wisconsin. And she had two little beautiful daughters, and she had come to my class for about 3 or 4 weeks, and she got pregnant, which happens a lot actually in my class. I feel like they start and then they get pregnant. But anyways, so she got pregnant, and after about 3 months of being pregnant, things got busy and she wasn't able to continue with the program. Well, I didn't hear from her for about 8 months. And then I received an email from her, again, about 8 or 9 months later. And basically the email said, hey, Dustin, I'm ready to get back in shape. I just gave birth 3 months ago to another beautiful daughter. Now I've got 3 daughters under the age of 4 years old, and I've got to get in shape. I'm about 50 pounds overweight. She was very similar to this picture in size. And she said, I don't know if you heard or not, but my husband was killed in a car accident on New Year's Eve night when I was 7 months pregnant with my third. And she says, I'm the only one that my daughters now have. And she said, I don't care what it takes. I promise I will do what it takes. And I will, show up to the workouts. I will start to eat better. I'll follow whatever you tell me to do. And Michelle worked a full-time job. She still works a full-time job. She travels quite a bit. But let me tell you, Michelle has sure changed. So let me show you a couple of pictures. There's her amazing late husband, Joe, with the 2 kids. Now that's more of a current picture with her 3 daughters. And then that's Michelle today. That was Michelle speaking at my book signing party. She's lost about 40 to 45 pounds. And let me tell you, there is so many excuses she could use of why, the whole eating right and exercising thing just shouldn't work in her life. She's too busy. She doesn't have enough time. She's not getting much sleep, whatever the reasons are. But she has been showing up to class now for 18 months it's been about 18 months throughout her transformation, and she never misses a day. She's always there at least 3 times a week, unless she's traveling. Even when she's traveling, she's working out. And it's just been great to see her daughter's the older one at least. She can obviously communicate a little bit, and she's just so proud of her mom of how she's been exercising and looking, and Michelle's got a lot more energy than ever before. And so that was Michelle's big why. She needed to be there for her kids. So again, if you haven't found that big why that's going to get you up every day, you need to spend some time figuring that out. So before we move on, I just want you to think about what we've covered so far, and what have you learned? What have you learned so far? And write that down. Cool. I hope you took away a couple powerful lessons from that. We're going to move on now to environment. This is part 2 of the 5 parts, and I've got a couple tests that I want to have you try. So this first one's the friend test. So grab that pen and paper again, if you put it down, and I want you to jot down really quickly the 5 most influential people in your life. Don't even think about it, just write it down. Okay, next to those 5 names, I want you to give them a number, 1 through 10, 10 being the most fit person that you know, 1 meaning they're basically dead. They've got no energy, and they're the lowest, health, wellness that you know. Okay, so just jot down a number for each of them. Don't worry, we're not going to tell them what these numbers are. Okay, once you have that, add all the numbers up and then divide by 5. For the math geniuses listening tonight, you'll know that is the average. So find that average number and then circle that number. Great. Okay, so studies show that you are approximately, as wealthy as your 5 closest friends, as fit as your 5 closest friends, as positive or negative as your closest friends. So this is a great, reminder. Again, we're focusing on the fitness side here. So whatever your number is, so maybe we'll say it's a 7. Okay, so between all your friends, they average out at a 7. Now, if you rate your own self higher than that, long term, it's going to be more difficult if you keep those same friends for you to stay at the higher fitness level and health level, because eventually they'll usually pull you down. Now, other way around too, if you continue to hang around healthy friends, maybe they're a 7 and you rate yourself at a 5. As long as you keep staying around with them, they should hopefully rub off on you at some point, and you'll improve your fitness level. Now, maybe you are around the same number as your friends, which is the most common. But maybe your friends are at a 5 and you're rating yourself at a 5 and you want to be an 8 or a 9. How do you get there? Well, you definitely need to probably either find some new friends, or you need to try to inspire the friends that you do have to take that next test, or to take it to the next level, to eat healthier, and to move the body. So that's just one quick test. We got a few things here. The vacation test. I think this really shows a lot of where you're at in your lifestyle. So on your vacations, do you put on weight during your vacations, or do you lose weight during your vacations? Does a vacation to you just look like laying on the beach, not moving, just living for the next meal, drinking the margaritas? Or is it more about hiking in the mountains and being active, and maybe trying some new exotic foods out, or whatever it may be for you? But whatever people tend to do on vacation is kind of what they are generally like most of the time. So here's a quick story. I get to interview a lot of interesting people, and one of the people, I guess is 2 people that I interviewed, was from The Biggest Loser, Kristen and Kathy, and they were the mother-daughter team from, I think it was like season 6 or season 7. They each lost about 150 pounds, and they were very fun, some of the favorites on the show. And I asked them afterwards, this was probably about a year after they were on the show, I said, wasn't it hard for you coming back after being on the ranch and having that environment where just 100% supported your healthy behavior? And they said, you know what, it was an adjustment at first, but they said it really wasn't that hard because they said up until The Biggest Loser, when we were 300 pounds, we created an environment around ourselves to support that behavior. We knew which friends would want to go out with us on which nights, where we could go get the cheapest, fatty foods and the free appetizers, and where you could get happy hour. We knew what cars we could fit in. We knew where at our church we could sit, where we could fit in the chairs. They had this their whole lifestyle planned out and supported. They said, so when we got back, we just had to create a whole new environment. We had to either find new friends or inspire the ones that we currently had. Maybe instead of going to the movies and eating popcorn, we went for a walk, or maybe went bowling, or maybe we cooked a meal in and invited people over. They just changed everything they did. And I know that seems maybe sounds simple, but it's hard to do in reality. But it just proves the point that when you change the environment around yourself, that's when lasting change can happen. I've got this tool called the vampire evaluation. What the heck is a vampire? Well, for me, a vampire is someone that does a couple things. One, they tear down yourself. They don't build you up. They're always complaining. They're always negative. Maybe it's a vampire at work. They waste your time. They interrupt you. Just overall, when you're around them, you're not being uplifted, you're not getting energized. There's people that you meet that you just get more energized being around. Those are the types of people that you want to surround yourself with. You don't want to be around vampires who are going to be just continually, bringing you down and complaining and complain about whatever it is, their body, the economy, something that's going on with their kid's life, whatever. Really surround yourself with healthier people. Okay, so I've talked about, the people you surround yourself with, but how the heck do you approach your loved ones when they may be the people who are bringing you down, or the ones that are not supporting you in your healthy lifestyle? And I'm just going to share with you a couple tips that I've used in my own life, but also used and taught to many others. So the first thing is you need to have a conversation with them. Say, hey, listen, you know what? I've been thinking about this for a long time. I just heard this guy named Dustin speaking, and he just really, opened my eyes up to where my life is going. I did this 10-year plan, and it just scared the heck out of me. I don't want to continue on the road that I'm living in, and I needed to change things. And this is what I need to change. And then after tonight's presentation webinar, you'll have some more things you'll probably need to change. And so list a few of those. You know what? I've realized I need to exercise 3 times a week. And instead of going out every Friday night for the all-you-can-eat buffet, I need to do something different. And just share with what that is and why. And ask them for their support. Say, hey, listen, I know we've always gone out on the weekends to drink with friends. Maybe we do that once every other week or once a month. And let's try some other things. Is that cool? And just get their feedback. And if they love you and they care about you, they're going to say yes. But what I have found is their yes initially may not last. So take it, thank them, and then just start to see how they react to it over the weeks and months ahead. And if they're still not supporting you, I would again bring it up one more time. Say, hey, listen, I had this conversation with you before. You're not supporting me in my decisions. Could you please do it? And again, if they continually just try to bring you down, tear you apart, say, oh, I've seen you go on these diets before, it's never worked before, you always gained the weight back, then you're going to have to start reducing the time you're with them. And what I would highly recommend yourself doing is find yourself other people. So how do you find yourself other people? We don't have much time to talk about this, but I would find a group, find a support group. With Fit Moms for Life, my program, we have tons of community groups around the country that you can reach out to. And reach out to me, and I'll try to set you up with someone that maybe can give you accountability and support. Find a local activity group. Maybe you enjoy hiking. Find a hiking group. Or maybe you enjoy walking. Find a walking group. Whatever it may be for you. Do something. Okay? So before we move on to the next point, I just want to share with you another story of one of my clients. This is Julie. Julie is 40 years old. And as you can see on the right there, she has made quite the transformation. That picture on the left is taken at a bar. I love how always before pictures are usually taken at a bar where people have food or drinks in their hand. But Julie's lost almost 100 pounds. I believe it's like 97 pounds. And the reason why I put her here in this part of the presentation was she has completely changed the people she surrounded herself with. She no longer hangs around her friends and that used to go out all the time to the bars. She hangs around, she goes to my boot camp program that I have in Madison, Wisconsin. And so she has completely surrounded herself with a new peer group. She is dating a guy now that is pretty fit, and they're doing boot camps together, which is so great to see. Just everything she's done. She of course eats healthier. She's just more active overall. She's created that healthy environment around her, and she's a transformed woman. Obviously, not only on the outside but on the inside as well. She's so much happier, and of course she's healthier. She's got more energy, and she just has a spark to her. So hopefully you're inspired by her story. And before we move on actually to the nutrition part, I just want to pause for a moment and let you ponder and think about how this environment section could apply to your life. Okay, so jot down a few notes. We have a bunch more people jumping onto the webinar as we've been going along, so you may have missed at the beginning, but my email address is dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com. That's my personal email address, not my assistant or support. Dustin, DUSTIN, fitness@gmail.com. Let me know how you're enjoying it. Let me know things that you're liking or not liking. Give me feedback. As well as I announced at the beginning, we're having a contest. Whoever takes the most notes and emails them to me, you're going to get a copy of my book, Fit Moms for Life, How to Have Endless Energy to Outplay Your Kids. And so we'll see who wins that. I'm excited to read your notes and see what you're getting out of it. Nutrition. Nutrition is a massive topic, just like this man here. This is the world's largest American sumo wrestler. And he's standing by Miley Cyrus. That is an old picture of Miley if you've seen her now. She's got some pretty crazy punked out hair. But anyways, I wanted to share with you a story to start off the nutrition section that I think proves a lot of points. And when I was in college and after college, I studied nutrition all the time. And a lot of times we look at what works. But why don't we focus on what doesn't work? Now I'm guessing you don't want to look like this guy, okay? So if you do want to look like this guy, you're probably not on the right webinar right now. But I studied sumo wrestling a lot and wanted to learn exactly how they get so fat. Sumo wrestling's been around for many thousands of years. It's a Japanese tradition, and they've really perfected how to get fat, and especially how to get belly fat. So let me just share with you a typical day for a sumo wrestler. They get up around 7 o'clock in the morning, and within 30 minutes or so, they're off to work out. And I really don't know exactly what sumo wrestlers do, but I assume it's a lot of bumping and grunting. And they're just moving around, and they work out for 2 to 3 hours. So it's quite a long session with all their sumo wrestler teammates. And then around 11 to 11:30, as you can imagine, they must be really hungry because they woke up and did not eat. And they just worked out for 3 hours. And then they go and they eat together because research shows that you eat 30% more when you're with other people. So they go to the dining hall and eat together. And you know what? They're not really eating that bad of foods, to be honest. They're eating a lot of beans and rice and meat, but they're eating massive quantities of it. The average sumo wrestler for that lunch will eat about 5,000 calories. That's pretty crazy. So what do you think they do to wash down all those calories? Can you take a guess? They're definitely not washing it down with water. So they wash it down with sake, with beer and alcohol, because they found that alcohol can put on the most belly fat. And they've tested this again over thousands of years. That should not be a surprise to you. We all know that alcohol puts on belly fat. What do you think they do after they ate and drank? Can you take a guess? You probably guessed it right. They took a little siesta. Yep, they took an hour or two nap to let that food settle and to get it into the fat cells. And then after that, they do whatever they want to do for a few hours. And then around 7 p.m., they have their last meal together. And again, they try to eat it with the team. and they consume crazy amounts of calories again, about 5,000, wash it down with beer, and they don't eat the rest of the night. So they eat 2 meals a day, about 10,000 calories on average, and that's it. It's a very simple diet, but there's a lot of things that we can learn about that aren't good. Okay. So what are some food lessons that we can learn from this? One is eating more frequently is better. Now, I don't think you necessarily have to eat 6 meals a day. I personally do eat 5 to 6 meals a day, or 5 snacks and meals. I think that's the best way to keep metabolism high, to maintain your blood sugar levels throughout the day. But again, it's up to you. If 4 times a day is good enough for you, that's fine. But definitely not 2 times, because you're going to be overly hungry, and then you're going to eat too much. You're going to binge, which is going to send your blood sugar levels really high, which is going to require your insulin to come in. When your insulin comes in, it'll pull all that sugar out of the bloodstream and store it as fat if it's not being utilized right away. They skip breakfast. Every trainer you've ever heard tells you not to skip breakfast. I will tell you that too. Don't skip breakfast. Finding portions. Portioning is huge. For many people, just reducing the size of their portions, not even what they eat, will go a long way in helping them lose weight. But I do believe that it really does matter what you're eating as well. A couple other lessons that we can take away from this is, not always to eat in social environments. And if you are going to be eating in social environments, pre-portion your meal. So if it's a buffet, get your plate, put the food on, and then eat that food. The next one that I want to talk about is love your fats. I see so many people going low-fat route, and they think that because fat makes you fat. But fat does not make you fat. I believe in many cases fat makes you skinny. So here's a couple fats that I really recommend that you really focus on. Fats are going to fill you up. They're going to give you energy. They're going to help balance your hormones out. So my favorite ones are coconut oil. And if you don't like the taste of coconut oil like I don't, you can get the unrefined coconut oil kind, and that's going to be tasteless. It's great to cook with. Olive oil is great. Olive oil is not good to cook with, though. Olive oil is good in cold things, so on your salads, for example. Even butter. Butter is great. If you get grass-fed butter, that's one of the best fats for you. Avocados are good. Nuts and seeds, a variety of nuts and seeds, those are great for you. Of course, fish with the omega-3s, those are good for you in moderation, just making sure you don't eat too much mercury. But again, the more fats you can eat that are healthy, the better you're going to feel. So I just want you to stop for a moment here and think about in the past from an eating standpoint, from a nutrition standpoint, what have you tried that hasn't worked? I want you to jot down a couple notes. So maybe it's that low fat thing we just talked about, or maybe it's going like no carbs, like Crazy Atkins style. No carbs does not work very well either. It does work in the short term, but not in the long term. A couple other tips I want to share with you is protein. I believe that we're under eating protein, and not necessarily from a standpoint of maximizing your muscle recovery, but I believe that if we're eating less protein, we're going to be eating more carbs, and when we eat more carbs, we generally put on more weight. So, don't be afraid to eat protein, whether it's in meats, and if you're going to eat meat, try to get grass-fed, organic, not stuff that has a lot of pesticides and a lot of injections in it, and are just the traditional kind. Try to find a local farmer if you can. I get all my vegetable, or a lot of my vegetables, but all my meat, my chicken, my eggs from local farms around the area. And then your carbs. Carbs are not bad, but we do eat too many of them generally as a society. So focus on complex carbs, not simple carbs. So your whole grains, those are going to be good for you. And try to decrease anything that says enriched. If it says enriched wheat flour, stay away from that. Run away from that right away, because that's going to be just putting garbage into your body. Think of it just as like pure sugar going in your body with no nutrients. It's not going to tell your brain to shut off the hunger sign, because it's not getting anything good. And then also with carbs, you got your starchy carbs, your vegetables. Those are great for your fruits. Eat fruits in moderation. Eat vegetables like crazy. They're going to help fill you up a little bit. They're going to give you a lot of vitamins, nutrients. They're going to give you a lot of fiber too. So you never can go wrong with the vegetables. I want to share with you a story of Liz. Liz is again one of my clients, and she now works for me actually with Fit Moms for Life. And she just got certified as a personal trainer, and she just ran her second marathon and almost qualified for Boston. So she's going to be qualifying, I believe, probably 6 months from now. She'll definitely qualify for Boston, which is a great accomplishment. She's lost about 60 pounds. She's got 2 little boys that keep her really busy. And Liz really took hold of this, nutrition thing. She really focused on what I just mentioned, along with a lot of other tips that I don't have time for right now. And she found out that she had gluten issues. So she went on a no gluten diet, and now it's become a lifestyle for her, and that really helped her. She doesn't have any, intestinal problems anymore, and she doesn't feel bloated, and she's got lots more energy. And she just looks great, and now she's inspiring other women to do the same, and it's been pretty awesome to see. And Liz has become really strong and fit. Her self-confidence has just been crazy high, and her and I talk quite often, and she said that when she was living in that body on the left there, she settled for mediocrity. She was okay with things just being okay, but now she refuses to accept that. And she's a go-getter, she's goal-driven, and she really looks at her life now in a whole different way, which has been pretty inspiring to see. So, maybe you see yourself right now on that left, like Liz, kind of going through life, coasting through it, letting your kids kind of rule your life, and just not really feeling too great. You can make a change. There's lots of stuff that you can do, and it's not too difficult to overcome. There's many women who have done it just before you. So stay tuned here as we continue. Okay, moving on. Exercise. Time is flying by, so I've got to go through these relatively quickly. Exercise, of course, is my biggest thing, one of my things that I'm most excited about and passionate about. Strength training. If you're not strength training right now, you're cutting yourself short from tremendous results. So what do I mean by strength training? 3 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. That's all you need. You don't need an hour in the gym. You can do this at home. You don't need much equipment at all. But what are the best exercises? I'm just going to go through these quick, so be sure to jot these down. For your lower body, lunges, squats, step-ups, and deadlifts. Those are your best ones for your legs. Upper body wise, some sort of shoulder press, some sort of either bench press or pushing motion, push-up motion. A bent row or a pull-up would be great. Those are all working the biggest muscle groups. They're going to burn the most calories, and that's why I really, whatever anybody's goal is, unless their goal is to get more fat, I would say they should be doing strength training. It's the best thing to boost metabolism long term. Muscle is metabolically active. The more muscle you can put on, the more calories you're going to burn. And as you can see from all the people I have showcased so far for my stories, none of them are big and bulky, but yet they all lift weights, and they all lift at a pretty challenging level, and are looking good. So at this point, I want to kind of pull back, and let's ask another question for you. What have you tried exercise-wise in the past that hasn't worked? I see a lot of people coming to me very frustrated because they've done a lot of stuff. So is one of those things cardio? Because I get a lot of people, I call them the recovering cardio addicts. They sign up for a marathon or a 10K because they wanted to lose weight. Well, within the media, I guess I didn't mention earlier, but I've done about 100 TV shows, so I'm on TV a lot. And they kind of coined this phrase for me that I say, marathons make you fat. Now, I don't necessarily believe that, but I have seen marathons make people fatter, or once they stop their marathon training, they get fat. And the science is very conclusive that long-distance cardio is not the best way to burn fat. It's actually one of the worst ways. It promotes fat gain, I believe. The new technique that's just coming out that not many people are aware of yet is called burst training. Burst training is doing short, intense bouts of exercise followed by some rest. So maybe it's 15 seconds of really hard exercise. Maybe it's on an elliptical machine. Maybe it's running. Whatever it may be, it could do anything. Swimming. You do it for hard for 15 seconds, and you recover for 30 or 45 seconds. Hard for 15 seconds, recover for 30 or 45. You only have to do that for 5 to 10 to 15 minutes total, and that's the equivalent of at least about an hour of say, jogging or fast walking. And so for anybody who's time strapped, who doesn't have a lot of time, that is a great way to do some sort of cardio, get the heart strong. The strength training even makes your heart stronger too. And between those two, you should learn, or you'll be burning a tremendous amount of fat either during the workouts and after the workouts. So tummy toning. Okay, this presentation was talking about the tummy. So how the heck do you get a flat stomach? Well, of course, getting rid of the fat over the midsection, that's one of the most important things, and that's how we work on the eating. Eating's the biggest part of fat loss. We do the strength training to boost everything up, and then we have some specific tummy toning exercises that we do. Now, a lot of people go about the wrong way. They start with crunches, working the outer abs. In many cases, crunches will just make you look fatter if you don't have the deep core strength from the transverse abdominal muscles. So those are the deep muscles that run kind of real deep in your abdomen. They run horizontal, so it's kind of like a weight belt. Think about it like a cincher. And if those muscles are stretched out, which they are after giving birth, and if they're not properly trained to cinch back in, your tummy's just going to stick out all the time. You may have experienced this already. So I'm going to give you a few exercises that you can do to really cinch that stomach, kind of like pulling that natural weight belt in a couple belt sizes. So the first ones are side planks and front planks. You may have heard of these before. Front plank position is basically like you're doing a push-up, but maybe you're on your elbows instead, you're on your forearms. You just hold that, sucking that stomach in for 30 to 45 seconds. Relax, do it again. Side planks, very similarly. You're on your side, you're on your forearm, and then you keep your hips stacked, your feet stacked, keep your hips up, and then you just hold that position 30 to 45 seconds. My other one that I really love is called a vacuum. And I'm going to go through this really quickly. We're only going to be able to do one rep of this, but I encourage you to start doing these tonight and never stop doing them. They're going to be one of the greatest things that help you keep your abs tight. So you're going to exhale. Let's do this right now. Exhale all the air out of your lungs, so breathe out. Breathe it all out. And then hold your breath, and then suck your stomach in. So suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. You should feel a deep contraction of those abs, and then relax. Good. Catch your breath. We'll do one more here. So catch your breath for a few seconds. I don't want anybody passing out of me. Breathe out. Hold your breath. And then suck it in, suck it in, suck it in. 3, 2, and breathe out again. Great. That right there will make your waist 2 to 4 inches smaller within a few weeks to a month. And again, we're not getting rid of the fat. This isn't going to be burning any fat. But what it is teaching those muscles to stay contracted throughout the day. You can do that as much as you want. You can do it from a standing position, seated position, whatever you prefer. But do that often, and you'll notice your stomach to not stick out as much. Cool? Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to go to another story of Amy. And Amy couldn't find a bigger before picture. She's definitely was a lot larger than this, and she's lost actually quite a bit more weight since the picture in the red dress. She's dropped 80 pounds now. And I put her here within the presentation because I wish you could have been there for my first encounter with Amy. And she started my program, and she looked miserable. She seemed like she hated me. She hated the program, hated exercising. And she was on the stair climber. I came out to her at almost the end of the class. And I said, "So what do you think?" And she stared at me and she says, "I hate you. I hate this class. And I hate exercise. I'm never going to be back." I was like, "Well, okay." I said, "Well, I appreciate you being honest." Amy's from New York, if you can't tell from her attitude, and very blunt. And yeah, so somehow she puked, I guess, the first time. Actually, I think she threw up the first 3 times. But then she came back and came back. And every time she came back, she hated it less and less. And now it's been over 2 years. And she's lost again over 80 pounds, and she just loves exercise now. She can't go a day without it, and has really taken up the strength training and the burst training. Amy does no cardio. She doesn't really like doing it at all, and she focuses on the strength training, and it's boosted her metabolism up so high that she doesn't really have to do much other exercise besides that. So it's a great example of someone who maybe didn't enjoy exercise right away, but then started to at the end as they got into it. All right, we are running out of time, so let me just fly through this. Accountability. You need accountability in your life. If you don't, the chance of success is very, very low. Long term, you may be able to succeed short term. Finding a partner or getting in a group. Let me quick show you this thing. So this is a study that was done a few years ago, and it made a lot of big headlines, but it showed your increase in obesity or being overweight if someone near you gained weight or became obese. So for, let's say, a mutual friend, that was the biggest one. So like one of your best friends, if they gained weight or became overweight, you are 100 and I think it was 60% more likely to be fat or obese yourself. If a same-sex friend, so that was about 70%. A spouse is about 40%. So if you marry someone who puts on weight, you're about 40%. Sibling, again, is about 40 to 60%. And you can see there, opposite sex friend did not matter, as well as the immediate neighbor didn't matter at all. But there's certain people in your life that really make a difference when you're surrounding yourself with those types of people and they're gaining weight. It's just so much easier for yourself to gain weight. So you need to have accountability in your life. And we ran out of time to be able to really talk about how to do that. I've got a few tips for you here at the end as we wrap things up. Here's Vanessa. She's partying it up, but in that left picture, even though she looks very happy, she told me later, and she's written emails and done blog posts about how depressed she was. She was not very happy in that picture. On the right there, she has learned to have a much more optimistic and positive lifestyle and attitude, and she has surrounded herself now with a group of women and guys who really motivate and inspire her, and now she teaches and trains others to be healthy. And you can see she got pretty cut up and ripped after having 2 kids. She's got 2 kids under the age of 4. So let me recap for you. You now know how to eliminate the negativity in your life, how to build a positive and supportive environment. You know now what to eat and when to eat and maybe when not to eat for success. You know how to exercise with the most efficiency and to stop doing things that are just kind of a waste of your time, and to keep on track, which is the most important. So I really hope that I've over-delivered with you today. I gave you as much content as I could pack into this short amount of time. And again, I would love to hear feedback from you, so you can email me at dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com, dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com. And I just kind of want to leave you with a couple things here. So want to know the biggest secret of all about losing weight the healthy way? I know we've covered a lot. Starve yourself. Just don't eat for 40 days. You're going to lose the most weight in the fastest amount of time. All right, well, hopefully you could tell by the way I said that I am joking. Yes, you are going to lose weight that way, but that is not the right way to do it. I see a lot of people doing a modified version of that every single day, and they never succeed long term. So here's the secret. You'll get there much quicker with me helping you by your side. So would you like me to train you? Would you allow for me to be your trainer, to help you, motivate you, inspire you, give you all the tools necessary to get in the best shape of your life? Well, hopefully you say yes. So I wanted to introduce you to the program that many of these women that you've already seen and thousands of other women have done all over the world and gotten great results. I've packaged my best stuff and given it to you here with DVDs. So what you're gonna get today is 12 DVDs. These are the Fit Moms for Life DVDs from level 1 to level 12, and you're going to each month, or not each month, but each workout, each DVD, you're going to get introduced to a new woman. She'll share her story. We've got an hour-long follow-along workout where she does the workout and I train her, and it's in her home, so it's nice and intimate. It's relaxed, but she's doing the workouts right alongside with you. But the hour-long workout can be broken into 15 to 20-minute segments. So if you have 15 or 10 minutes, just put it in, do that section, and then leave. Come back a little later the next day, do it again. You don't have to spend a full hour working out every time. Besides those 12 DVDs, in there I've got nutritional segments. I've got me cooking some of my favorite meals, some of my favorite breakfast, lunch, and dinners. I interview some great health and nutrition experts to really give you some specific tips and dive a lot deeper into some of the nutrition stuff we didn't have time to talk about today. Of course, you get my book, Fit Moms for Life, How to Have Endless Energy to Outplay Your Kids. It's been helping thousands of people all over the country and all over the world, and it's been really cool to see what that book has done for many, many people. So this is a step-by-step system that I spoke earlier about, that the blueprint that will guarantee success. This is the blueprint for exercising that I found to guarantee success. This is valued, I sell this separately for $497, and like I said, I've sold thousands of units at that price, and people love it, and it's incredible value, and their lives are transformed from it. But I want to do even better, because you spent an hour of your time watching this right now. I want to provide you, I haven't shared this eating plan with anybody before, but it's a 6-week, step-by-step, delicious and easy to follow eating plan. You don't have to think about what to eat. You just go and get your grocery shopping list that we provide, and then you go get your meals, and all your meals and snacks are laid out for you. And this is the same eating plan, very similar to what I've used to drop 15 pounds of ugly fat myself over a 9-month period, and actually it only took me about 3 to 4 months to lose most of it. And I wasn't on a diet. It was just eating healthy foods, and I was always full, and it was delicious tasting. So you're going to also get that today. Now another thing you're going to get is 108 different ways to make this your best and fittest year. So I guess I was bored one day, and I just jotted down 108 things that I could think of, little small changes that you can do every day to make massive changes. So maybe it's putting some coconut oil in your tea, something small like that. Or instead of treating yourself to a meal, treat yourself to getting some new tennis shoes or new runners, for example. Just small little things. And I encourage you to take this list and pick 1 or 2 each week to start to implement, to become a habit. And then over time, you're going to have more and more of these become habits, and your life is going to drastically change. So that's a free downloadable report that you're going to get access to right away. That was a $27 value. The next thing I'm super pumped about, we are so blessed to live in a time where online technology is such that we can communicate and interact with each other. And one of the biggest reasons I see people don't succeed is they quit early. They don't have enough accountability, the motivation, or the support. And our online community is huge. So what are you going to get? You're going to get a private access to our Facebook group, where you're going to introduce yourself, share a little bit about your story, what your goals are. You can ask as many questions as you want, not only to the community, but to myself. It's a great place to find workout partners. Again, you can interact with me, and you get 12 months of this membership for free. And here, I don't know if you can see this picture or not, but Marilee, she says, right now I'm really craving sugar. What should I eat? And tons of people gave her some great information about things that they've tried that have worked for them. And normally this is a $25 a month add-on, but you guys will get that absolutely free. And here's another cool thing, again, within the group, Becky has a list now of tons of accountability partners that she wants to have in her life, and other people reached out and answered her call for accountability, and now she's got a huge support system all over the country that they meet on a regular basis, through email or through Skype, and keep each other accountable. Again, you get full access to that. Here's a picture of Jody. Now you're going to get to meet Jody right away in the Fit Moms for Life DVD number 1. Jody is a mom. She has 5 kids. She overcame a lot of sadness and tragedy. One of her kids did pass away very early on in his life, and so she's now raising 4 kids. But she's lost about 60 pounds and just really exudes what the Fit Moms for Life mission and philosophy is all about. And she's helped well over 20 to 30 of her friends and family lose a lot of weight, and she's just inspired them tremendously. So right now, do you feel like this program could get your results quicker, make things a little bit easier than what you've been trying in the past? We've already talked about what in the past has not worked for you. Well, this is what will work for you. So here's an email I received from Patty. She's from North Dakota, and I'll read it really quickly. I had the biggest compliment. A friend that I trained with last year was at the gym last week, running and running and running on the treadmill as usual. She called me this week and asked me what I was doing because I'm so much thinner than I was when we ran together last year. I told her lifting weights. She asked if I could show her, so this morning at 6:15 a.m. we were both at the gym. She looked at me in my workout gear and said, "Oh my God, you're thin." I'm 10 pounds lighter than, and so Patty's 10 pounds lighter than she was last year. And so she gave her DVD number 1, which had Jody in it, and told her to try the core and cardio tomorrow and tell me what she thinks. So after she got done lifting the weights, she stayed and did some high intensity cardio, which is the burst training, for 10 minutes. And so another friend was there when I got there, and she was running and walking the treadmill after I was done with the weights and high intensity training. She was still on the treadmill. I think this is great. I was getting ready to go, and she said, "Are you already done?" I said, "Yep." And she said, "I might have to call you." So the Fit Moms for Life program, the Fit Moms for Life system blueprint, is all about working out smarter and shorter, not longer. And for a busy mom like yourself that has so many different things that you're juggling every day, this is essential for you. Here's Deb. Deb, as you can see, she's actually a grandma, and she's got her grandkids there. And she was just overweight and not feeling good about herself, not having enough energy for her family. And she heard about my DVD program online, and she signed up for it. And within about 6 months, she had dropped, I believe it was well over 40 pounds. And this is her competing in a mud run. It was like a 5 or 8 mile race, getting nice and dirty. And there she is on her bike. Quite a transformation she's made over the last few months. Here's a woman named Sherry. Sherry is in Texas, and she posted this on our Facebook group. "Something strange has happened to me. I have to exercise every day now. If I go a day without exercising, I feel like my day is not complete. I'm happy about this new change." That's a great example of someone who's really taken the program, taken the blueprint, and once they make it their own, once they make it consistent, it's just like brushing your teeth or taking a shower. If you don't do it every day or very consistently, you just feel gross. You feel like something's missing in your life. And here's a story of Crystal. Crystal's dropped 120 pounds. She was a college student and really struggling with obviously her weight. She took everything we've talked about today, applied it to herself, took action, and again, she looks unbelievable. And here's a email I got from Kathleen from Massachusetts. She says, "Hi Dustin, I love the info on what to eat before and after a workout, which is contained in the program. I love the breakfast suggestions. I love that you got me to try and succeed at full body push-ups. I love that you have me trying heavier weights. I love how you showed me how to do interval or burst training, burst cardio. I use it all the time. I have 3-year-old twins, and time is at a minimum, shall we say." She says, "I'm also studying to be a personal trainer, and I've learned so much from you." Great job, Kathleen. And again, another example, a mom with twins, young twins, doesn't have a lot of time, 15, 20, 30 minutes, maybe in the morning is all she has. But luckily, that's all you need. Last one here. Jennifer, she just finished her first month and down 10 pounds. She says, "Plus, I'm amazed with the inches that were lost from my stomach." And we spent a lot of time talking about today how to get your tummy tighter. She's starting the second DVD this morning and really liked different exercises. "I noticed how much stronger I am with the first DVD. I was only able to complete 2 rounds of the weight training last week, and now I'm able to complete all 3. Today I did not want to stop and actually was bummed I had to get ready for work. Looking forward to this weekend buying more challenging weights since I outgrew some of mine already." That's only after 1 month of doing the program. And great job, Jennifer. If you're on this call, I just want to applaud you and congratulate you for taking action by investing in the program and doing that. And take a look at the comments that people did receive. So they gave her compliments, and that really builds up, again, the accountability, the support within the community. That's so important. Maybe you tell one of your friends who's tried to lose weight in the past, you share, "I just lost 10 pounds. They're going to be jealous of you probably, and they're going to try to bring you down. This is a place where you've got constant support that's all positive. They're not going to be saying, "Oh, I bet you're going to lose or you're going to gain that weight right back. I've seen you do it before." Everything is very positive. So let's quick recap here. You're going to get the 12 months of DVDs, or the 12 DVDs with the book, step-by-step eating plan, the free report on how to make this your healthiest year ever, your online community. The total value there is at least $971. But I just want to work with those who must succeed, not ones who just are thinking about it, the ones who are very committed. My time is precious, as is yours. I don't want to waste your time, your money, or my time. So for those whose failure is not an option, that's the type of person I want to work with. So if that's you, listen up here. And this is the last one I just want to share with you. I received this email. I love receiving emails from husbands of the wives. Dustin, I have watched for the last 6 months as my wife Sue has done your Fit Moms for Life videos every other day. She has really done well with working out and eating the right foods. She watched the nutritional portions of each of your videos as well as the interviews. I've seen someone who did not feel good about herself, and her body became more and more confident in every way. She has lost almost 20 pounds and is keeping it off. Her mindset is so positive. The only drawback I have is financial. She is shopping for smaller clothes now that all of her clothes are too big for her. So from a father and a husband, I want to say thank you for inspiring my wife, Sue, to be a fit mom for life. She looks great. I can't wait to see what she'll look like when she finishes the next 6 videos. So that's from Paul. So if you're married and you want your husband to say nice things like that about you, this is the program for you. But you're not going to pay the $971. I want to do something really special. I'm going to tell you why. I want you to be my next success story. I share with you a few of my success stories here. I've got hundreds and hundreds just like that. I've got books that I'm working on as well as revising the book that I do have already. And I want you to be in my next book. So today only, your investment is just one-time payment of $297. $297, you're going to get all of that. And you're going to get the Fit Moms for Life DVD program, which I believe is the fastest and safest way to create the body you're truly proud of. You can do it from your home. You don't have to go to a gym, so you don't need to find a babysitter for your kids. You can do it in the early morning when they're sleeping. It only takes a little bit of equipment and just a few sets of dumbbells and a stability ball is really all you need. So invest in the next 15 minutes and you will get all of those things I've already mentioned, as well as a couple of fantastic bonuses. 5-part flat stomach audio series. This is a program I created and sold, and it just went over amazingly well. It's 5 different series of we talk about exercise, mindset, nutrition, environment, as well as I do an interview with my mom, and she shares how she raised myself and my younger siblings to all be, I would say, very healthy and fit. I interview experts in them. And we're going to go in depth in each of those 5 topics that we kind of touched on today. You're going to get about an hour each. Sold that program for $49. You're going to get 12 months of live Q&A webinars with me. So each month you're going to get a live webinar that you can ask me any question you want to. I'm going to be also giving you cutting edge information, things that I'm learning. I might bring on some of my friends who are experts in different areas of health and fitness to get on them with me and share you the best content possible. And that's valued at $130. And then 30 days of accountability email program. I created this. The first 30 days are the hardest 30 days. If you can get past those and you create a strong support network, there's very few things that are going to stop you. So each morning I'm going to send you out a short email with an inspirational image or quote on it. And I just want you to think about it and meditate for 2 to 3 minutes each morning. It's going to get you in the right mindset, and it's going to really get your day started correctly and positively. And that's a $47 value. So I've given you well over $1,000 worth of value in all this stuff. But again, for the next 15 minutes only, it's $297. The question is it worth it? You may be saying, you know what, that's a lot of money. I could get a membership to a gym for that. Why should I invest in this program? Well, you're investing in not only myself and my expertise, but the thousands and thousands of people that I've worked with, as well as the accountability and all the support you're getting. So if you were to try to hire me for one 45-minute training session, it would cost you $150. And to be honest, for the last 2 years, I have had such a long waiting list for training that I haven't even accepted any new clients over the last 2 years. So basically, it's the same cost of this program of 2 45-minute training sessions with me. And I provide you with over 28 hours of my best information, which would cost you, again, if I was with you in person throughout the whole process, about $5,600. I really want you in this program right now. And when you register now, I've got a mega bonus that I really wasn't planning on delivering, but I think that if I can get you invested in this program right now, your life is going to be so dramatically changed that you're not going to be able to stop telling everyone else about it. You're going to share it with everyone. It's going to really help fulfill my mission to help more people. So since you have listened this far, I want you to succeed. You deserve it. So what I'm going to do is you're going to get a one-on-one fast-track phone call with me to make sure you have the best start. So we're going to do a 20-minute phone call where I really get to know you, get to know your goals, and we're going to put together a specific plan for you. And I've only got time for 10 of these. So for the first 10 people to sign up right now, there's an add to cart button somewhere on this page, some button. Click that now, sign up and join, and then you'll receive an email right away. And you can get on that call as soon as you want. If you want to wait a few weeks, that's totally fine too, to do that first one-on-one call. But you do need to invest right now into the program. People fail by not starting correctly, and that's one of the biggest things this one-on-one call will help with. And I'm going to give you exactly what to do each and every day. So let me show you everything again one last time. You're going to get the 12 DVDs. You're going to get the book. You're going to get the Flat Stomach audio program. You're going to get the 108 ways to make this the fittest year ever. You're going to get your online support. You're going to get the eating plan. You're going to get me doing the live webinars as well as the coaching call, the one-on-one coaching call with you. And I'll, of course, be in the Facebook group answering your questions as well. So the question is, do you think you can do this? Do you think you're capable of it? I hope by now you can say yes. You've seen probably about 10 to 15 of my clients, again, success stories who have done it. There's nothing that was special about them. They just got the program, they took the step, took the leap of faith, and believed in it, and then applied it to their lives. I'm here for you. The community is here for you. Absolutely, 100%, you can do this. So I want you to join us. I've got 100% lifetime money back guarantee. Who the heck gives a 100% lifetime money back guarantee? If you don't enjoy the program for any reason, if you aren't getting results, if I get this once in a while, people use the DVDs so much that due to overuse of them, one breaks or skips, I will send free replacements for free of charge. So whatever it is, I'm taking all of the pressure, all of the risk off of you and putting it on me. And why am I doing that? Not only because I want you to get great results, but I know you're going to get great results. I know you're going to be happy with the program. And I get very happy and very fulfilled when I hear of other success stories and really being able to transform other people's lives. So how are we all doing? I'd love to hear from you to see if you're getting this, if you're enjoying it, or things you maybe are confused about. So again, you can email me at the dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com, dustinmaherfitness@gmail.com, as well as remember to email me your notes. I want to see what they are, and if you have the most notes, you'll be receiving a free copy of my book. And one more time, for over $1,400 worth of value today, $297. I don't know what else to say. You have seen the amazing transformations of these women, and I can't wait to be featuring you next time. Go to the add to cart button right now. You'll get to the shopping cart page, just put your information in, and you'll get the bonuses that are digital right away. We'll be shipping you the DVDs within a couple days, and you can schedule your one-on-one call with me as soon as you want to. So thanks so much for listening, and thanks so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to do that. Feel free to share this with other people and take action on what you learned, and let me know what you've done with it, and I can't wait to start working with you right away.